Are you in a season where it feels like God is not hearing your cries? Where you're crying out to him and you're asking him for your mercy. You're asking him to do these works in your life. And you're thinking to yourself, do you even care, God? I've been going through this same battle for this long and nothing has changed. Nothing's moved. Nothing's different. Do you even care about the pain that I feel? You know God is capable of working miracles. You believe in him for miracles. But you're just not sure if he'll do it for you because it feels like he hasn't done much for you recently. It feels like you've been asking him for his help and he's nowhere to be found. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl RAYMAIAH, and today I'm coming to you very quickly, briefly, just to share a little bit of what has been on my heart in this season. Many of you probably do not know, but I'm currently just like in a season of transition where I've just recently graduated and I'm trying to figure out where my life is headed. A lot of things are not going right. I feel like I have sacrificed so much in seeking the Lord. I feel like I've given up people that I love. I've given up things that I loved. I've given up places and stability and security and things that I believed were serving me, because I know that God is calling me to greater. He's calling me to more. But it's like, where is this greater, God? Where is this more? Where are the things that you told me were coming? Where are the promises that you told me were on the way? And it's like, God, I'm praying. I'm on my knees. I'm crying. Do you not hear me? Do you not care? Because I know you hear me. I know that your word says that you hear me when I cry. So is it that you simply don't care? Is it that my cry is simply not important to you? If that is you, y'all, you're not alone. Been there, done that, still there, still doing that, okay? But I'm just here to remind you guys today that do not give up on God, okay? Do not give up on God. And before we get to asking these questions, because we love to say, God, you're not doing this. God, you're not doing that. But let's turn that around real quick and ask yourself, what is it that you're not doing, okay? Because I know personally, in this season, I started off on fire. I started off so in love with this journey and so committed to every step, obedient in each and every way. And now I'm in a place where I feel like I don't see the fruit of the things. I don't see what I was expecting to see, and it's a little bit tougher for me to pray. Because it's like, God, I just prayed to you this morning, okay? I'm about to pray about the same thing and you still haven't done nothing. So, well, you know exactly what I need. You know exactly what I want. I don't really know what to say to you. And I'm just here to remind y'all, like, when you get to that place, when you get there, you need to check yourself and do it quickly, okay? Fix your heart posture. Remember the things that the Lord has done for you. Remember how he has come behind you in the past. I don't know about y'all. I don't know your story. But when it comes to my story, there are ways that God has showed up for me when I didn't even know I needed showing up for. Y'all, I earned a scholarship in the 10th grade to go to college 2 years later, when I wasn't even thinking about how I was going to fund my college tuition. Mind you, I didn't even apply for the scholarship. I earned a scholarship I didn't even apply for. When God knew I needed money for school, when my mind wasn't even there, I hadn't even considered those problems yet. I was trying to get through the problems that I was having in that day. I was trying to get through that day. And he was 2 years ahead of me, making my plans, setting plans, setting the road ahead of me. So much so that when I got to college, not only did I have money to pay for college, I had an excess that I was receiving refunds literally in my entire college career, my entire higher. And so I don't know your story. I don't know exactly the ways that God has shown up in your life. And maybe you need to do a deep dive. Maybe you need to really go back and recollect all of that information and remind yourself just who God is and just what he has done for you. Because I think back to moments like that. I think back to when I had a baby at 14 years old. I am not even of age to get a job if I wanted to. I don't got transportation to get to no job if I wanted to. Y'all, I did not work. Literally, y'all, I don't know how my child and I got what we needed when we needed, plus more, but we did. We were taken care of each and every single time. Like, I don't know how God has showed up in your life. I don't know the way he has moved your heart. I don't know what he's taken you from, taking you out of. I don't know. But what I do know is that he has worked in my life. And how dare I come to him and ask him what he's doing in this season when I've seen him work before? How dare I try to question him? How dare I? How dare I? How dare you, sweetheart? Like, who are we? Do we not know that his wisdom is greater than ours? Do we not know that he can see things that we cannot see? How dare we fix our hearts, fix our minds and our lips to question God, to question his goodness, to question his loyalty, to question his love? I am going to go ahead and link a sermon by Priscilla Shirer, I believe that's her last name, that I watched, and it was so good. She said in the beginning of the sermon something that really just struck me. She said that she was with her son in an airplane, and he was admiring the plane, and he wondered how the plane was sticking together. How all of the pieces of the plane, which were so large, how were they able to hold themselves up in the midst of flying in the middle of the air? How did they not fall off? How did everything not fall apart? And she says to him, well, she don't know, but you know who does know? His uncle, who worked on airplanes. So she said, go ahead and ask your uncle. And she went further ahead and she said to him, you know, when you grow up, you can work on airplanes just like your uncle if this intrigues you. And he said, no. I don't want to work on airplanes like my uncle. I want to do what you do, which is nothing. This woman is a preacher. She's an author. She does so many things. She is the mother of 3 boys. So she went on to say how it's like a full-time job just to feed them. One of her sons is like 6'2", and he's only like 14. If you guys are not familiar with Priscilla, her preaching is amazing, and apparently her books are, you know, receiving accolades and awards. I haven't read any of her books, so I can't vouch for that. But he goes on to say, you do nothing. He's like, I see you at home on the computer just twiddling away, doing nothing. I want to do what you do. I want to do nothing just as you do. And from his perspective, it seemed as if she was doing nothing. She's writing books that are winning awards, that are touching the lives of people, putting together sermons that are touching the hearts and the minds of people who are women coming and needing something from God. She's writing, putting things together, crafting things together that are serving God's people. She's like, what about the food that you eat every night? What about the clothes that are clean on your back right now? He's like, those are just regular mom things. Like, that ain't nothing special. That's nothing. That's the same posture that we have when we come to God and we ask him, what is he doing? God, what's going on? Why is there so much storm? You're doing nothing in my life. When in reality, we are taking for granted the things that seem simple to us. but are luxury to others. We're dismissing the things that we cannot see because our minds are too simple to understand. We need to take our pride and get rid of it. Take our pride and get rid of it. I'm in the book of Luke right now, and I was reading about when Jesus had visited the home of a priest, and the woman came and she poured the perfume on his head. Y'all know that story. I believe it's in Luke chapter 8. And she comes in, she heard that Jesus was in town, and she goes to where he is, and she's kissing his feet. She's kissing his feet. She's crying. She is crying because she's in the presence of the Lord, so much so that she wets his feet, and she uses her hair to wipe his feet, to clean his feet. And I thought to myself, wow, that's actually kind of crazy. Because how many of us will be humble enough and grateful enough for all that Jesus has done that we would come up to him and kiss his feet? Like, just think about that. She never met him. She never met Jesus. She just believes in her spirit that this man that she's seeing in front of her is Jesus, and he is worthy of her getting on her knees and kissing his feet. Are you willing to do that? But then you want to wonder why your vision board hasn't come to life yet. I'm talking to me too, sis. I'm definitely talking to me. Because I will tell you right now, I don't know if I do it. I don't know if I would get on my knees and kiss Jesus' feet, okay? But he's still working on me, okay? He's still working on me. All that to simply say, do your part and wait patiently. In church, we've been talking about intentional growth and how we cannot be passive in our relationship with God. We cannot be passive. It takes activeness. It takes being aggressive and assertive and active in our pursuit of Christ. You want God to be active in your life? You need to be active in finding him. You need to be active in seeking him. Are you active? Because if you're not active, then your complaint of his inactivity, or seemingly so, is not valid whatsoever at all. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's revisit prayer, reading the word, fasting. Let's go back to the basics. We must be active in our pursuit of Christ. And it is not only after having many private victories do we begin to see public fruit. Let me read y'all this. Growth is not the product of existence. Growth does not happen simply by existence or the passing of time or the increasing of age. You have to seek after God. You have to seek after his kingdom. Nothing happens until you do that. The bearing of fruit is the equivalent of private victories manifesting. Fruit is the product of doing in private what you know you need to do. The manifestation of fruit, the manifestation of wins or blessings or whatever you want to call it, is the product of moment by moment denying your flesh of what you desire in that moment and doing what you know God desires of you to strengthen your spirit, to strengthen your relationship with him, to strengthen your connection. All right, y'all, that is all that I have for you today. This was not a long strung out video. This is really not even something I planned to record for real. I just came and let y'all know what the Lord has been downloading into my spirit and how he's been checking me in my season of what is seemingly stagnant or seemingly uneventful. I hope my thoughts were cohesive enough that it actually made sense and you got something out of this. I hope you got something of value, and I want you guys to tell me in the comments if what type of season you are in, if you can relate to me, or if you're in a different season and what God has been downloading onto your spirit in this moment. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoy. Bye.
God, you call me by my name.